Hey everyone, Sam here, also known as Mr. Stainless, and today we're talking about crafting, upgrading, and modifying weapons in State of Decay 2. But before we do, if you want to join the community of survivors here on the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. I upload 2 State of Decay videos every week to help you prepare for the coming apocalypse. So in the first State of Decay game, finding guns, especially good ones, was an amazing feeling. It was kind of like opening a gift on Christmas morning and finding something inside that you weren't necessarily expecting, but are completely over the moon about. The only difference, of course, is that you'll then use that gift to mow down countless hordes of the undead. Well, in State of Decay 2, the folks over at Undead Labs have put in some time to creating some tools in the game that will not only allow us to maintain and repair these beautiful beasts of semi-automatic carnage that we find out in the world, they'll also allow us to make our own. Now, each firearm in the game is rated by 7 attributes: power, accuracy, control, durability, fire rate, range, and quietness, which is going to be quite important. Melee weapons are ranked quite similarly, by the way, but these stats are all affected by the variant of the weapon and whether or not there are any attachments or modifications involved. Like I said, there are multiple variants of some of the weapons that can be found in the wild or crafted at your base. For instance, there is the Raiders AK-47 and the Preppers AK-47 in the game. They're both AK-47s, but the modifications that are attached give them different stats, so you're going to want to keep an eye on that whenever you're equipping your firearms. Regardless though, if you do find a naked variant of a firearm out in the wild, so to speak, you can modify it and apply upgrades to boost the performance beyond its natural state. Modifications like magazines, sights, grips, etc. are all tied exclusively to weapon variant types. For example, you can't attach an 8 times or a 16 times hunter scope zoom to a pistol. Or at least, I don't think you'll be able to anyway. It could be interesting. And similarly to the first game, there will be muzzle attachments like the silencer. There will equally be flash hiders and compensators too. And also like the first game, these muzzle attachments, they won't break over time. Just the weapon will, which is at least some kind of compensation, I guess. But don't worry, a prepared community will lead to an equipped community. If you want to make sure you're getting the most bang for your buck with the firearms you find in the game world, you're going to want to invest time and resources into upgrading your base. Now, workshops are a great first step in weapon maintenance. They'll enable you to repair weapons and salvage for parts, which will help you be able to craft new ones. Explosives like pipe bombs, incendiaries, decoys, and other items can be crafted at a workshop too, and those will prove invaluable, almost as much as your firearm in some cases. Now, if you want to go one step further and you have a survivor with the correct expertise, you can build a forge which will enable you to not only create new melee weapons, but also convert raw materials into parts or break down existing parts so that they can be reborn anew. The thing is though, your firearms are only good for as long as you can keep them loaded with ammunition, and that's where the armory comes in. Armories are another base upgrade that will allow you to craft different types of ammunition from these raw materials and will equally give you access to crafting some of State of Decay 2's top tier equipment, so you're definitely going to want to keep an eye out for building one of these. The only thing though that I think is worth bearing in mind around all of this is that there seems to be a real focus on the skills of the people in the community. I would very safely assume that you're not going to be able to craft top tier explosives or weapons in your community unless someone has relevant skills or a history of using them. And I really like that about State of Decay 2, it kind of adds an extra level of groundedness to the whole game. For me, equally, it kind of adds a level of natural selection when it comes to choosing who you let into your community. If your resources are stretched thin and you've got the option of either letting in a qualified doctor or just some guy called Bob who has no discernible skills, I'm sorry Bob, but I'm going to leave you outside to be zombie food. With that said though, it's not long now until State of Decay 2 is going to be in our hands and ready to play, so let me know down in the comments whether you've pre-ordered your copy yet or if you're going to wait to see what it's like first before buying. In the meantime though, if you've enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button down below to be notified of when new videos go live, but until next time, have a great week, and I will of course speak to you all soon.